Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God, and Jess Hilarious. How y'all doing on this Thursday, Friday Eve?
Blessed, black, and highly favored, Morgan.
Good. All right, so top in the headlines, guys. President Trump addressed the Future Investment Initiative Institute Priority Summit in Miami Beach, Florida. The summit, which is hosted by Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, is described as a gathering of global leaders, innovators, and visionaries aiming to tackle the most pressing challenges and opportunities. He spoke about the Russian-Ukraine war, where he once again blamed Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky for starting the war, and he also talked about securing the border and said more tariffs are on the way. Let's hear more from President Trump at that event.
I'm going to be announcing tariffs on cars and semiconductors and chips and pharmaceuticals, drugs and pharmaceuticals, and lumber probably, and some other things over the next month or sooner. And it's going to have a big impact on America. We're bringing our businesses back. If they don't make their product in America, then they have to pay a tariff, but if they do make their product in America, they don't have to pay any tariff.
And of course, there's been some drama surrounding President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. As mentioned, President Trump continues to criticize the President Zelensky on social media. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz spoke about the relationship between the two leaders after Trump called Zelensky, quote, a dictator without elections in a post on Truth Social. Now, Waltz slammed those who criticized how the president is handling the Ukraine-Russian war. Let's hear more from National Security Advisor Mike Waltz.
Well, it's one that's frustrated right now and clearly is going in the wrong direction. But what President Trump is focused on is ending the fighting. A lot of the same voices demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and in the Middle East are now criticizing how we get to a ceasefire now in Europe. And I got to tell you, all those voices will quiet down when we get to that ceasefire and when we get to a broader deal.
So Trump also describes Zelensky as a, quote, modestly successful comedian, end quote, who talked the U.S. into going into a war that couldn't be won. Of course, this comes a day after Trump suggested Ukraine started the war with Russia. He also said the Ukraine-Russia war is more important to Europe than the U.S. and noted we have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, my thought is I hear people, repeat the things President Trump said, but they never correct him. Like, Ukraine didn't start the war.
Right.
Like, Russia launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. So, I mean, I don't even know why people repeat that without, adding the fact that that's not true.
Well, nobody ever corrects Donald Trump. When he speaks, he just keeps it moving. Nobody ever corrects him.
That is true.
That is true. What do you guys think about these talks, these negotiations, and whether or not Ukraine is involved?
No, Ukraine should definitely be involved in the peace talks. Like, that don't even make any sense. Like, you can't, that's like having a negotiation for your contract and you're not at the table. Like, you're not talking to your agent, you're not talking to your manager or whoever it is. Or if you're at your job, negotiating something, you'd be sitting at the table negotiating it for you. Yeah. So yes, Ukraine needs to be sitting at the table.
But I would be very fearful if I was Ukraine, because obviously we can see Donald Trump has no respect for Zelensky or Ukraine, and he's going to do what he wants to do regardless. So, he's going to make this deal on behalf of Ukraine.
All right. So moving on, we do have an update on an executive order. An appeals court has ruled President Trump cannot end birthright citizenship for now. The U.S. Constitution says anyone born in the United States becomes a U.S. citizen, an amendment Trump has been trying to overthrow with an executive order. When a Seattle judge banned that order, the Department of Justice filed an emergency request to lift the ban and end birthright citizenship. So on Wednesday, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled birthright citizenship will remain the law while the case moves forward, with arguments slated for June. So we will continue to update you as June comes around with that. But as of right now, if you were born in America, United States of America, you are safe, supposedly.
All right. You say that until you hear that doom, 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 doom. Ice, ice,
Stupid.
Doom, doom,
Oh,
doom,
my
doom,
God.
doom, doom. Ice, ice.
All right.
These people are showing they
that's
operating above the law. They don't care what y'all saying. I wouldn't trust it. I'll stay in the house. Whatever you've been doing, okay, however you've been getting low, I would stay low.
You're dumb.
I'm just saying.
That's probably why Chris Mother ain't leave out yet.
You see what I'm saying?
I know.
Was she born here?
I ain't never asked her that. No,
Well,
I never even asked
doom,
her.
doom, 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 doom.
That was so
Oh, my
crazy.
God.
Every day I go home, I be knocking on the door like, hey, I was like just playing
Man,
with her.
stop.
So you play too much.
Yeah, I know.
You play too much. You'll get that
Show
lady
me
a heart
that's
attack.
funny. I'll be laughing.
It doesn't hurt to have a drill, right? I mean, a
Yeah,
little
just
drill.
just you got no shit. Jump out the window. I'm telling you.
All right. Well, that's front page news.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
What's up is the first friend, Envy, Elon Musk. Yeah, so he says he will ask President Trump about a proposed Doge dividend. That's Department of Government Efficiency. He made the comment in a post on X, his social media platform, saying he was responding to an investment firm CEO who pitched the idea of a tax refund check for $5,000 to be sent to every taxpayer funded by savings from the Department of Government Efficiency after its expiration in 2026. Now, Musk added on X, obviously the president is the commander-in-chief, so this is entirely up to him. So basically what he's saying is all these cuts, these savings that Doge is going to implement, maybe it'll come back to the pockets of the American people in the form of a tax refund check of $5,000. What do you guys think about that?
I think this is why this administration is better strategically at politics than Democrats, because, you know, you look at it, Monday there was protests in the streets about what Trump and Elon Musk are currently doing to the federal government. We know 12,000 federal workers have been fired indiscriminately. People are seeing the incompetence of what he's doing because he's firing people that we actually need to keep our country safe and thriving. So, you know, when those protests started Monday to calm any civil unrest, he comes out and says, I'm going to give you this $5,000 tax credit because I'm finding out the government is wasting your taxpayer dollars on nonsense.
That's
so I
right.
want to take this money and give it back to you. Nobody's going to question anything they do in regards to Doge if he does that.
Sounds amazing to me. And for taxpayers out there that owe money and you get a $5,000 tax credit, people going to love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely sounds like STEMI 2.0.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, switching gears to aviation news. Delta Airlines is offering passengers on Monday's Toronto-bound flight that crash landed $30,000 each. A Delta spokesperson says that offer comes no strings attached and does not affect rights. 21 people were injured in the incident at Toronto Pearson Airport. The regional Delta Airlines flight from Minneapolis was carrying 80 people on board. $30,000, is that a good settlement? What do you guys think? I mean, no strings?
That means no strings. I mean, I could sue regardless, right? So I get that $30,000 and then I can sue. So I ain't got to sign off.
No, they're not going to just get him that $30,000 and let them not be able to sue later. They're going to give him that $30,000 and make them sign something so they don't sue later.
It says no strings. The Delta spokesperson says no strings attached.
Right.
Yeah, I would tell
That's not
everybody to
affect
get an
rights.
attorney just to double check. Like Charlamagne
Yeah.
said, you don't want to get that $30,000 and you can't sue. But if it's $30,000 for my inconvenience and scaring the ish out of me, and then I can still sue, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they're giving these people $30,000 and not going to make them sign something so they can't come back and sue later. There's no way.
You know, we'll continue to watch that situation. A deadly midair collision did happen between two small planes being reported in southern Arizona. Apparently, this happened yesterday morning at local time at the city's regional airport about 20 miles northeast of Tucson. Sergeant Vince Rizzi told Fox 10 about what police saw upon arrival, and he also shared an update on two other people who were aboard the planes. Let's hear from Sergeant Vince Rizzi.
It was learned that two aircraft were involved in the collision. Unfortunately, two individuals were confirmed deceased. The investigation is in the early stages and is ongoing. From what I understand at this time is the other two involved are unharmed and they're doing okay.
So the NTSB said the collision involved a Cessna and a Landcare. It's unclear what led to the incident, and of course the FAA and NTSB are both investigating that incident. Bringing things home to you guys in New York, a judge in New York City says Mayor Eric Adams' federal corruption case isn't he's not going to make a decision on the case or whether to drop the charges as of yet against the New York City mayor. Judge Dale Ho ordered Adams and the Department of Justice officials to appear at a hearing in Lower Manhattan to discuss the reasoning behind the DOJ's order to dismiss the case for now. Taking the stand, Adams says he was innocent. The mayor has been facing calls for an ouster over allegations of quid pro quo for his cooperation with the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration in exchange for tossing the charges. Now, the order triggered the resignations of 4 deputy mayors and several federal prosecutors. There's no word on when a decision in the matter could be made. Ho says he'll take everything that was said in the hearing under careful consideration. And I will keep you guys posted as to what decision is made by Judge Ho regarding Mayor Eric Adams. But meanwhile, Governor Kathy Hochul, well, she is speaking out about President Trump right now. So the White House made an illustration. They posted an illustration of Trump wearing a crown. The caption of the post quotes, "Congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all New York is saved. Long live the king." Now, that was taken from a post on Truth Social by Trump. The illustration is reminiscent of Times magazine cover, and it shows a grinning Trump in front of New York City saying the words, "Long live the king," in the lower left-hand corner. Now, Governor Kathy Hochul, she's defiant over the Trump administration pulling the plug on New York City's congestion pricing program and has announced that the state is suing At a hastily called news conference on Wednesday afternoon, the governor was especially worked up over that tweet following his actions, Trump's actions. Let's hear more from Governor Kathy Hochul.
Long live the king. New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now. I don't care if you love congestion pricing or hate it. This is an attack on our sovereign identity, our independence from Washington.
We don't care.
No, we don't. And I actually want him to pull congestion pricing. I'm kind of with him with this one.
Yeah, congestion pricing is killing New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying? And she's trying to deflect from the fact that people don't want the $9 congestion pricing. Like, that's not going to work. Yes, two things can be true at one time. We don't want a king, but we also don't want to pay the $9 congestion pricing. And this ain't a big joke or little joke either.
No,
okay?
we don't want that at all. And people have been saying it, and people have been saying how it's been hurting them. And you know, it might be easier for Governor Hochul because she doesn't actually live in the city. Like, there's no way around it.
Absolutely.
No, it's just crazy for her to try to use that like it's the big joker. Like, I got the big joker, okay? Like, no, we don't want Donald Trump to be a king, but we're talking about these $9 congestion pricing right now, man. So that guy over there saying, hey, no, $9 congestion pricing is not a thing, that's what we want.
So
like, what are you saying? Like,
MTA chief Jano Lieber says New York ain't going back, and the city tried gridlock for 60 years, and it didn't work, costing the economy billions of dollars. He also says Manhattan streets are safer as a result of congestion prices. Let's hear more from him.
Speeds are up, up, up. The streets are safer, half as many crashes, and that means pedestrians are not getting injured and killed.
Guys, what do you think about that? Counter.
I mean, I did read something where they said, you know, they can keep congestion pricing, but the price is too high. Charge $2.50. That $9 is you're really stretching New Yorkers. You're really stretching anybody that comes to the city. Tourists, anybody from coming out of town, people that just want to see a Broadway play or go to a nice restaurant. You're stretching them. So they're saying instead of charging $9, maybe charge $2.50.
And I don't even know where it's at. So being that I don't know where it's at, like, I'm driving a different car right now.
Be hit with the rate. Nope.
Exactly. I'm driving a different car right now. So my Easy Pass is in my goddamn glove compartment. So when I'm going through the tolls, I got to go reach in there to pull my Easy Pass out.
But I don't
even know where the hell we at in New York with the congestion pricing.
Well, Lieber also ticked off statistics saying that it showed that businesses are booming for restaurants, Broadway shows, and taxi drivers. So it seems like some people like it, some people don't. I will continue to, see what happens as a result of it. It seems like more people, to your point, you guys are there, more people are not in favor of this congestion pricing. And to your point, Envy, maybe it just needs to be lowered. So we'll keep you guys posted. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media. For more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.